Oh, hello there. I'm just reading a spooky story. The rules of civility. Has anybody noticed that when school starts, or even before school starts, they start doing Halloween stuff? I always thought that was crazy, but then recently I've been thinking a lot about it, and nature kind of is decorating for us. There are spiders everywhere, and their webs are enormous, and spider webs are not called étoiles d'araignée. I don't know, what do you guys think about that? Students think that they're called étoiles d'araignée. It's not an étoile. Try to explain what a toile is, and actually there's one right here. This is my dad's office. There's one right here, right behind me. Oh! I don't know why that's here. This is what happens when I don't make a script. Anyway, bonjour et bienvenue. Hello and welcome. My name is Kate and I'm a Canadian teacher. I'm the creator of the Madam Mindset YouTube channel that makes brain break videos in French. Since 2021, I've been starting my day off with morning meetings. I started doing it online and the kids loved it so much that I started doing it in person. And I found that it really helped to put kids that have anxiety and are stressed at ease. All the kids love doing the activities. It's a fun way to say hello to one another. We get to practice things like saying our own first and last names, and they're just engaging ways to get kids participating, certainly in French. Sometimes I dreaded doing the morning routine because it was a routine and it was kind of, But this way I have things that I can change, and if something goes well, I can repeat it. I worked really hard on making these, getting ideas, thinking of things, and making slides that are fun and engaging, that'll keep the kids' attention. I had prepared these for students that were in first grade. I had a really hard time finding Google Slides that were appropriate for students of that age, so I tried really hard to make things age appropriate. Something I really want to do is to help the kids regulate their emotions in the morning and be prepared to learn. And another way that I like to do that is to have them do a little bit of exercise. And some of the videos that I've prepared help them to exercise while also learning vocabulary and discussing things that are themed. For the month of October, I like to concentrate on Halloween because I find with students that are in grade 1, if you start a little bit too late, the kids can't really catch up in time enough for Halloween. So I start Halloween in October, and then in the month of November, I do the vocabulary for the month of autumn, for the season of autumn. But I do concentrate sometimes on the vocabulary for the season autumn at the same time. It's just that it happens all the way through. So I find that if I integrate the Halloween vocabulary, which they're going to discuss anyway, that we talk about those words. Something else I'd like to highlight in this video is the updates that I have made since last year. So if you've already purchased these slides, you can head on over to TBT and re-download the product info page, and that will have the link to the slides that I have updated. Because you made your own copy, the updates don't automatically go into your drive. You have to download a whole new copy. Okay, so I'll talk about what the updates are. I'm going to show you an example of the morning meetings for the month of October. Okay, let's get into it. You've purchased the morning meetings, you've opened up your PDF, you've got to scroll down past the explanation, some information about myself, and thank you for buying this product. You go down to the third page and you click on Les Activités here, and it will bring you to the video. So, and then if you scroll down further to the page that has the image of the thumbnail of the product, you click on this image, and it'll prompt you to make your own copy of the Réunion Matinale d'Octobre 2023. So you click on that and you make your own copy. Once you make your own copy, you can rename it if you'd like right here. You can rename it how you'd like. It's up to you. So this is how I've have it organized. You click there and you've got les jours de la semaine. You click on les jours de la semaine. So for example, si c'est mardi, you click there and it'll bring you all the way down to mardi. In this one, I've put a little home button. And if you click on the home button, it'll bring you back to les jours de la semaine. And then if you want to go to the activité, so say you've already done the first week and you want to add some new activities in there, what you do is say if you want a new pensée partage activité, you click there and it'll bring you all the way down to pensée partage. And what I've done is put two little buttons there, one that brings you back to the first page, accueil, and the other one that'll bring you back to les activités. So if you want to click there, it'll bring you back to slide 35, and slide 35 is like in the middle, so it's after the first week. And if you want to go all the way back to the top, you can click OK. There. Okay, so we've got Bonjour, aujourd'hui c'est lundi. Bonjour de fantôme, so they've got to say hello like a ghost. Don't forget to change your voice. So bonjour or salut, like that. That's how I have them do it anyway. All right, le message du jour, as I said before, I don't like to write the message du jour for you because the message du jour is something that I use to sometimes give updates about what's going on in our school board or at our school or in our classroom. So special things that might be going on. And it might be something that I've made for myself to read, and it might be something that I've made for the students to read. So it's really something that I find is class specific, so I don't want to write a message for you. Here's the updated calendar. We've got Octobre 2023. The first is on the Sunday this year, and we've got the pumpkin that you can move along. If you want, you can add your own images. If you go to insert and search on the web or whatever, you can do that. So for special days that you might have going on. So then we've got usually le pensée partage and the activité afterwards. So pensée partage, an example would be jour et nuit. So there are animals that sleep in the day and are awake at night, and others that are awake in the day and sleep at night. What type of animal would you be and why? So there are examples of nocturnal animals like chauve-souris, ibu, ones that are kind of like Halloween-y, so that's why I put that one in there. Le costume parfait. Draw your favorite costume Halloween. You can write about your favorite Halloween costume as well. In grade 1, I would probably do a drawing though. Okay, and then we're at Bon matin, aujourd'hui c'est mardi. This is the one that I wanted to make sure that I do La Famille Adam, so it goes by the tune for the Addams Family. Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na. Okay, so we've got Les amis de la classe, les amis de la classe, les amis de la classe, amis de la classe, amis de la classe, amis de la classe. Il y a Noah et Tegan, il y a Liliana et Malachi, il y a Catherine et Sam. Nous sommes ici pour écouter les amis de la classe. Amis de la classe, amis de la classe, amis de la classe, amis de la classe. And then you'll do the couplet again, but at the end of the couplet, you won't say nous sommes ici pour écouter, you'll say nous sommes ici pour travailler. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then third couplet, because usually you have about that number in the class. Nous sommes ici pour amuser les amis de la classe. That's how it goes. Oh boy, not the best singer. Okay, then we've got Message du jour, calendrier, les chats noirs. This is a pensée partage where they think about it, they can share it with a friend, and then you share it with the whole group if you want. So you say, do you agree? And then you have to give at least one reason to justify your answer in grade 1. Okay, and then 21 questions. This is a little game. This pumpkin here can be moved, and you can also change the image underneath. You can ask up to 21 questions to guess what is found behind the citrouille. So you can say something like, est-ce que c'est vivant ou non vivant? So is it living or not living? And that type of thing. You're going to maybe have to teach them about how to ask questions before you get started, because they'll just say, is it a citrouille? And you're like, that is a question, but we need to ask questions to like kind of eliminate other things. Bonjour, aujourd'hui c'est mercredi. Don't forget that you push this button here, you get back to the beginning. Bonjour de chauve-souris. So you say bonjour and you're flapping your bat wings while you say hello to everyone. So they're kind of walking around while they do this. That's how I do it anyway. Okay, and then we've got message du jour, calendrier, les contes effrayants. So tell me a time about when you were scared. What happened? So we're getting a little bit into social emotion learning. You could even ask, what did you do to make yourself not feel scared anymore, or to make yourself feel like you're safe? L'heure du dessin. This is one of my favorites. I'm trying to get them to use their imaginations and also to talk about what they've drawn and explain what they've imagined. So imagine that you were a scarecrow, or that you are a scarecrow for a day. What happens during your day? Sometimes I give examples, and then for almost the rest of the year, the students that don't know what to do draw that example, and I'm like, that's fine. But as long as they've done something. But eventually, some of them do start to like think of different examples. So you might want to give an example like every time, a different example. That way they can start to think about, oh, what different kinds of stuff could happen. Then salut, aujourd'hui c'est jeudi. L'appréciation. Chantez. 2, 4, 6, 8. Qui est-ce qu'on apprécie? Catherine, Catherine. Yay, Catherine. And then you repeat until everybody's had a turn. They kind of like that one. Then we've got préférerais-tu, so I've embedded links to some Madame Mindset videos. Then we've got the nombre mystère. I've explained how to play this in other videos. There's also extra slides of this down at the bottom in the activité area. You say, le nombre mystère est entre 11 et 20. And actually what I do is I will start the first week with 11 à 20. And then the next week we'll do 21 à 30. And then the week after that, we'll do 31 à 40. And then the week after that, we'll do 41 à 50. So we do up to 50 up until a certain amount of time. If that's too easy, then we keep going, because I have put the numbers all the way up to 100. So what you do is you say, le nombre mystère est entre 11 et 20. And what happens is you have not picked an imaginary number in your head before you're starting. You want them to ask many questions so that you can talk about what's smaller, what's bigger than, before and after, and that sort of vocabulary. So you're discussing all along what's bigger than, what's smaller than. So you're talking about the numbers a lot here. So they're trying to develop a sense of number sense here. Okay, so est-ce que c'est le nombre est 13? And I'll say no, because I want to move this and I don't have a number in my head. Est-ce que le nombre est 18? No. I'm not going to move this one to over here, because if I do that, then I'll have not very many things to talk about. So I want to do the most number of moving as possible. So keep this game going as long as you can. Est-ce que le nombre est 15? Nope, c'est plus grand que 15 et plus petit que 18. Est-ce que c'est 17? Nope, c'est plus petit que 17 et plus grand que 15. And then you say, quel est le nombre mystère? 16. So that's how that game works. Coucou, aujourd'hui c'est vendredi. Je suis capable. You pick a student to start. Je m'appelle Catherine et je suis capable de faire ça. So if it's like a jig, then they do a jig. And then everybody says, son nom est Catherine et elle est capable de faire ça. And everybody does the jig. And then the next kid will say, mon nom est Xavier et je suis capable de faire ça. And if he's able to jump up and down, then everybody says, son nom est Xavier et il est capable de faire ça. And everybody jumps up and down. Everybody's able to do something. Message du jour, potion magique. This is pretty straightforward. Dans ces fiches, these are available. So now we're at the ones at the bottom. You can click back up to get to the day, or you can click on the les activités ones and go down. So I've got extra calendars all the way up to 2026. I have a blank message du jour. I have some other salutations that I really like and that we kind of repeat. One of the ones is voix effrayante. So if we're sitting in a circle or even if in their desks, the students have to say hello to their friends in a scary voice. So,
Bon matin, Xavier.
or
Bon matin, Oliver.
I don't know, was that scary or annoying? Anyway, something like that. Or bon matin, Oliver. Like that. Okay, and the other two were in September as well. But sometimes, like I said, it goes well or it hasn't gone well, and I really want them to practice it because I think it could be fun. Depends on the group. Okay, then we've got more pensée partage down here. I'm not going to explain them all. I have a couple of autumn things. I have started to add in some social emotional stuff. So I've got some, how do you think she feels? How do you know? So these are some social emotional discussions. Pan d'électricité, how does the person in the story feel? How do you know? And then we have some conflict resolution things that you could discuss. So stuff that happens at recess, stuff that happens in the class, and again at recess. And then some activities. So there's some more activities. There's more drawing ones. There's a game here. Oh, this is the one that I wanted to explain. So a student is in the middle and they're miming an action. For example, brushing your teeth. Remember that song? I'm dating myself, I think. Okay, so the second student approaches that person and says, "Que fais-tu?" And they're going, and they respond saying something totally different than what they're doing. So for example, they'll say, "Je lave le plancher," and it's pretty obvious that they're not laving le plancher, right? And then the second student is going to mime cleaning the floor because that's what that student said. So they're cleaning the floor, and then the third student comes up to them and said, "Que fais-tu?" And then they'll say, "I'm playing hockey," or "Je joue au hockey," par exemple, right? And then this third student has to pretend like they're playing hockey, right? And they're pretending to play hockey, and the fourth person comes up and they say, "Que fais-tu?" "Je mange une banane." And then the fourth student has to go and pretend they're eating a banana, right? It might be a little too hard for grade ones, but you can try it out. So that's how you play that game. Oh, Chanson de l'automne, Frère Jacques. Remember that song? C'est l'automne. Then the students say, "C'est l'automne, les feuilles tombent." They say it. Sautons dans les feuilles. You're actually jumping. L'Halloween arrive. You can do your own actions if you want. And then if you want, on the second time, you can sing it very slowly. C'est l'automne. And then they have to do it real slow. Les feuilles tombent. Like, do it silly if you want, or do a little mouse voice.
C'est l'automne, les feuilles tombent, les feuilles tombent.
Or you can do it in a monster voice. C'est l'automne. You just play around with it, right? Play, play, play. Have fun. So I've got an Où est moustache with the images, and I have one with the numbers. So, Où est moustache, I'm going to send you to a video to how to play the game because it's pretty easy to play, but the moustache is movable here. Okay? And the students have to guess where moustache is hidden, one student at a time. I wanted to highlight that this Où est moustache is behind one of these, but so you can move them. Oh, she's right there. You can click on here and change the numbers. So if you want the numbers to be higher, then you can click on there and change those numbers. So that's something I wanted to do to make it a little bit easier. Hopefully these things don't change too much, but it's not a big deal if they do change in size. So you can click on there, and if you want to go to 31 to 40, for example, then you can do that. And then we've got videos embedded in here. The extra nombre mystère ones that go all the way up to 100. And then the editable slides, so editable calendrier, and then just the editable backgrounds. So if you want to do your own thing, then there you go. So those are the morning meetings for the month of October. Let me know if you like them. You can leave a comment down below if you want me to add something to these slides, and I can for sure do that for you. Anything to make you guys happy. Okay, not anything. This summer, I read a lot about learning and the brain and the importance of social emotional learning for students, but also the importance of exercise for not only students, but for everybody's brain. I have a new mantra for myself. Since the pandemic, I kind of got out of the groove and wasn't exercising so much. There's a lot going on in my life that made things stressful and made things difficult to have regular physical activity. But now I've organized it so that I am in control of how much exercise I can do, and I really try to make an effort to change my routine so that I can get some exercise in, because I know how good it is for my brain. And that's something else I want to emphasize for teachers especially, that exercise is a huge benefit and a huge tool for you to use to help students learn. There are so many reasons for it. I'm going to make a separate video about all of that, but just know that it's no mystery that exercise is good for you. And in my opinion, we shouldn't be using exercise as a reward. We should be using it as a tool to help your students learn. You let them know, because it's true, that if you do exercise, your brain actually grows. You actually increase your neural activity, you can increase your memory, and it primes your brain for learning. So even 5 minutes of exercise, which some of the videos I've made short and some of them I've tried to make a little bit longer. You can use them for DPA. Maybe I should try to make one that's 20 minutes. Let me know what you think in the comments below. But the other thing is, it could be beneficial for you as well. We want students to be practicing healthy habits, and one healthy habit is to do what's best for your brain, and teaching them that exercise is a tool that they can use to help their brain learn and remember things and function optimally. I think that's one way that you can teach them a healthy habit and teach them the why of the healthy habit. Know your why, so teach them why you're doing exercise in the classroom. I think that we should be teaching them to exercise for their long-term health and longevity, because exercise helps people create social connections as well as neural connections. So it's important that you do exercise before. You want your students to pay attention, to problem solve, to think critically, because after there's a period of time after the exercise where your brain is ready to learn and remember things. When you exercise, oxygenated blood rushes through your brain and to the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is the part that is developing all the way up into early adulthood. The prefrontal cortex is responsible for those behaviors that are responsible for the students paying attention, thinking critically, making decisions, problem solving. These are things that we want our students to be doing in the classroom, so why not use exercise as a tool? So there you have it. These are my morning meetings for the month of October. Don't forget, I plan on updating these morning meetings for the rest of the year. I will be making a video for each month so that you can see certain things that are happening in each month. I'm going to be making updates so that you can see certain things that may not be obvious to everybody reading. I've gotten a couple of questions asking, like, how do I play these games and so on. So I'm going to try and explain those for every month and embed the link to the video in the product information so that you can watch it if you need to check in to see how do I do this game or how do I sing this song, for example. I'm going to try to finish the updates by the 15th of the month previous. So for the month of November, I'm going to try to make a video for November before the 15th so that you can see how it works, and the update will be put on TPT as well. If you follow me on TPT, I'll send an update to everybody about when the update is made for the month of November. That way you can keep track. And last thing, if you like this video, click that like button and subscribe. You might want to click on the bell because it'll notify you when a new video is made. If you want to support the channel, you can buy me a coffee at ko-fi.com. The link is in the description below. You can buy Madam Mindset stickers. Those are always available. at ko-fi.com. There's a couple of membership options on ko-fi.com, and also if you become a patron, and you'll get access to videos and some resources that are available on TPT. But if you pay monthly, you'll get access to all those videos there. Really, if you make a donation or you do pay monthly or you buy some stickers, you support the channel, and it really does help out. It's helped me update some of my things on my computer and some things that I do so that I can make better videos, which I love doing. I actually enjoy it so much. And I really do appreciate all the feedback that you give. So if you want to give feedback on the morning meetings, or if you want to give feedback on a YouTube video, feel free to send me a message on any of my socials. So on Instagram, Facebook, or when you make a donation. I love to hear how it goes in class, and it makes me happy to know that I'm making other people happy. If nobody's told you yet today, I want to let you know that you are amazing. Thank you for watching. À la prochaine.